I've been asked many times, why do I paint mostly black images, black subjects? And I usually throw back the question, would you prefer me to fabricate an experience that I've never had, or would you prefer me to depict and share my truth with you? And I've done this several times. I am a black man, and the only way I can express my truth, express myself, is painting a black image, painting from experience as a black man. I've never had any other experience. When I sleep, when I eat, when I drink, when I dream, my thinking can only be from my experience, as a black man, as an African, as a Nigerian, as a Yoruba man. I can't, if I'm painting from experience of a white person or Chinese person, Mexican person, then I'll be lying, and that's what I'm trying to show you in my work. I want to be as authentic as possible. I want to share I want to share myself with you guys, so you know my truth. I come from a background, and the background is what I share with you all. People always ask me behind my work, what's the inspiration behind my work? It's my inspiration is like an onion, it has layers and layers upon layers. My work depicts the mental state at the point in time. I am a storyteller, and when I paint, I include myself in some of my work. I include you, and I include everybody, because we share some certain things in common, which is wherever you go in the world, we share joy, we share, sadness, we share sorrow, even we share goofiness, and and that's the very thread that ties us together as a human being, the human race. I mean, there's over the years, they've made effort to divide us, but the truth is we are all connected, we are all the same. I paint from from experience. I'm from Nigeria, and a lot of the things that I share comes from my experience. People will ask me, why do you paint somebody braiding hair? Well, what is the significance? But it's deeper than that. It's not just in Africa, in the black culture, in the black society. Hair braiding is deep. People, you see mothers braiding daughters' hair. They talk about life. They talk about, boyfriends. They talk about what to do and what not to do, things to look out for in life. And when two adults, women, two mothers are braiding each other's hair, they talk about their husbands. They talk about children. They talk about life. They talk about struggle. So those things, it's what I bring, to the forefront, so you guys can see this, me, my experience living in America. Also, I share with people back home, the struggle that I've seen, the plight of the black men and black women in America. It's also what I reflect in my work, and that's the only way I think I can be authentic. If I do something else, then I'll be lying to myself, I'll be lying to you, I'll be lying to the whole world.
So, Mr. Steven, how and when did you start your journey to becoming an artist?
You know what? I started when I was. I think I've always been an artist all my life. Since I was a child. But I come from a culture where you gotta be. Nobody wants you to be. Nobody recognizes you as an artist. They want you to be. If you're not a doctor, you gotta be an engineer. So my earlier years, I went to college and I studied civil engineering. But then deep down, I know I've always wanted to become an artist. So when I left Nigeria in 2001, coming over here, I just knew I had to get back in the grind and pursue this dream of mine. And I used to go to these gallery in New York. It's like one of those neighborhood gallery, and the owner is a Jamaican, is an elderly guy, Jamaican. And every time I go over there, I'll just go watch him paint, watch the painting on his wall. And one day I was about to leave, and then he called me. He's like, "Hey, young man, are you an artist?" And I said, "Yeah." Say, "You call me all the time. You don't buy nothing." I said, "Well, I just come to look." And so I was, I don't know why he was asking me those questions. So I felt offended. So I was about to leave. Say, "Hold on." So he went into the back room. Since you're an artist, how about you paint something? So he gave me a canvas. Says, "I'll see you in a week." And this guy, I went home. I didn't have a studio. I didn't have a space. So I painted in my bedroom. And a few hours later, I was done. So I went back to his shop, gave it to him. He was so excited. He was like, "Hey, rude boy, you got fire." And that was his word. I didn't say it exactly the way he said it, but that's what he said. And a week later, this was in 2000, mind you, this was in 2001. I've never sold any work, or I've never done any a real painting before then. He called me. A week later, he sold my painting for $300. And that's what got me started. I was about to leave. He gave me the $300. So I was looking like, it's your money, because it was his canvas, it was his colors. So, and he told me, he said, "Hey, take all the money, go buy yourself more supplies, buy yourself more canvas, and paint." And that was it. That was the birth of everything, That's how I got into really painting. So, and then I moved to New York. I moved to Sacramento in 2002. I was hungry. I want to be a big artist. So I take my work to all these galleries in Sacramento. Of course, I do black art, and not all galleries want your work. And my work was not always as good as this, but I was just getting started. So I was rejected. A lot of galleries rejected my work. I was told my work was not what they're looking for. And so over time, I realized sometimes you can't give up as a human being. You have to invent something for yourself. So what I started doing was I'll rent a venue and host my own shows. And to cut long story short, and that's how I became a household name. People started getting to know me in Sacramento. And before I left Sacramento 2014. I won the Best of Show. They had a festival known as the El Grove Multicultural Festival, and I didn't think I was going to win, because I didn't have enough confidence. And second of all, there were big artists that I look up to out there in Sacramento. But when I got a call that I won, I was just getting off work. I rushed over there, it was like, I felt like I just won an Oscar. And that was a testimony to myself that I did it. It was just, an award. To some people it's no big deal, but to me, coming from how I started, it was something. It proved to me that I can do it.
And we are rolling.
All right.
Let me pull out these questions.
I think every day people should, art is something people should get into.
And why is that?
Therapy. You can just go on your canvas and paint. You might be mad before you get on the canvas, but by the time you're done, after spending like a couple of hours, you don't even remember why you were angry the first time.
Like a different form of meditation.
Yeah, because it's just you and you're talking to somebody. And sometimes when I look at all these guys, when I paint, I sometimes in my head I'm having conversations like I'm getting to know them. In my head, I mean, it sounds weird, but sometimes it feels like I hear them. You know, like whatever they went through in their life or whatever, if they're still alive. If they're not, I don't know them. I don't know some of my subjects, but the ones that I don't know, it's like we're having conversations, and I'm able to kind of exhume that. My work is all about exhuming emotions. You know what I mean? Things that most people may not see about this individual. With my brush strokes, I'm able to bring it out. I'm able to capture those. Most times I'm right. I've had people when we talk, maybe like self-portraits, and I'm done, give it to them, and we talk about the process, and I tell them what I felt while I was doing it. I'm right. I'm usually right, and you know, it's art is a very spiritual thing. You being an artist and being able to create, you're like made in God's image. You know, God is the master artist, and since we were made in His image, we're able to capture His subjects in a good way. We're also good artists like God. So we're direct offspring of God.
So in a sense, every human has the ability to be creative.
Oh yeah, you know what? I don't think there's anyone on the face of this earth that doesn't have that creative juice in them, but you just got to find it. And the sad thing is, a lot of times when I talk to people allow their daily lives and other things to get in the way. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I can't do this because I don't have these, or I can't do this because I don't have a studio. From experience, if you want to do something, the first step is just doing it. Don't let anything get in your way. You know, you don't have a studio, paint in your kitchen. Some days I'll paint in my living room. I'll take my easel to the bedroom. Maybe I don't want to be here at night, in my studio at night. I'll paint in my bedroom. You know, so there's no excuse. I don't think God gave you a talent. Everybody has some kind of a gift, but you have to activate those gifts within yourself. There's nothing you become today that's not already there within yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was already there from the day you were born. It wasn't a mistake. It wasn't something, it's just something that I stumbled into. It was already there.
Just had to discover it underneath.
Yeah,
the layers.
It's about activating, you activate. People walk through this life wondering, what is my calling? But it's there if you don't seek. There's a lot of opportunities that are staring at you in the face. If you don't seek it, it's just going to be there waiting, dormant.
Yeah, and it's almost like wasted talent.
Oh yeah. So, a lot of people come into this world sleeping. They sleep through this life. They sleep getting married, going to college, having kids. They sleep dying.
Sleep. Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean?
Meaning, there's what you call human experience. When you come into this world, you have to leave a mark. You have to make an impact. I'm not saying impact in it doesn't have to be global impact. It could just be in one person. It could just be in you doing what I'm doing as an artist. You know, the beauty of being an artist is I've had a lot of people that may never have talked to me, or probably I would never met. You know what I mean? Old, young, black, white, Asian, just about everybody. And you know, I've been blessed. And that's what I meant by people are sleeping. We sleep through this life, and you know, we're caught up in things that doesn't bring satisfaction. You know, sometimes it's not just having a big car or big house. It's just being able to do your life's, you know, work. The work that you place here to do. I feel like I'm doing mine, you know. I'm an artist. People see my work. They feel good, they buy, you know. It's not always about the money, it's just about the joy that I see on people's face when they stare at my work, and the conversation that we have, where, you know, this is what connects us. Art, music, you know, books, stories. You're a filmmaker, so you know that. You tell a story in your movie and somebody will connect to it. It's like, oh man, you're telling my story. Art is like that too.
And the great thing about art is you can appeal to anyone or everyone. And there will always be someone that likes your style, even if other people don't like it. There's always, I feel like, as an artist, you're gonna have people that naturally gravitate towards what you do because they like your style and, you know, and how you present it.
But see, that has to do with your own truth. You have to find yourself on the canvas. You know what I mean? You cannot do things to appeal to people. You do it to make yourself feel good. When you feel good about what you do, it brings growth. You see what I mean?
Yep.
Because you're at your best. Your work doesn't have to be perfect. To me, art is just a way of me expressing myself to the world. You know, being able to capture emotion. I don't have the same emotion every time. You know what I mean? So when I paint, it's like the emotion that I'm feeling right now is what I'm depicting in my canvas. You can see in my brush strokes, the way I move. Sometimes my brush is soft. My brush strokes are soft, and some are hard. Maybe I'm angry. Sometimes you see my brush stroke real hard. Maybe I'm upset about something. Maybe I'm just lost in my thoughts, you know. So I just go real hard. And sometimes it's soft. And it could just be the vibe, the vibration that I'm feeling from the subject that I'm painting. You know, that depicts how I'm going to, you know, interpret the painting. So, you know, there's so many things that influences a lot of artists. But for me, it's just me being able to express myself and being able to capture the emotion that I'm feeling at the point in time. It's not always going to be the same.
Mm-hmm. So where do you draw your inspiration for each?
Inspiration, you know what? Inspiration is everywhere, man. Some days I'll just sketch on a piece of paper what I have in mind. Most times it'll come to me as words, you know, just maybe a few lines, or I'll sketch it on a piece of paper what I want to do. It might take me a few years to actually come up with the idea, but most time it comes to me as a word, maybe just a title. And from that title, I start to conceptualize what I want to paint.
So what do you want people to take away from after viewing your paintings?
Mostly the emotions. You know, like I told you earlier, my work is about exhuming emotion. I like to exhume emotions. I want you to look at my work and see yourself. See yourself in my piece. Connect with the story. You don't have to know the person, but you can feel whatever story that's being reflected in the work, and that's what it's all about. It's all about connection. We are all, as human beings, we are all connected. That's the truth. Believe it or not, we are all connected, and that's what I want to do with my work. Connect the world, connect people that probably will never talk to me in real life. Connect with everybody around the world, and I've been able to do that. Just by painting, I've been able to do that because you're thinking something, you think you're the only one thinking about it, but there's so many other people, millions of people that's thinking about the same thing. And that's the beauty of connection, and that's what I do with my work.
Before we leave, is there anything you would like to pass on to up and coming artists who are trying to get to where you are?
Follow your truth. That's the key word. Don't let anything get in your way of pursuing your dream as an artist. I know people will tell you all kind of stuff, but just don't let people get to you. Just do your thing. You might not be confident in your work right now, but give yourself a few years, be persistent, and you get to where you need to be. I'm a living testament. Thank you, guys. I want you to look at my work and see yourself in the image. Embrace the laughter, the sadness, the joy, the goofiness. I want you to close your eyes and imagine yourself running the street of Africa, the street of Lagos, Nigeria. I want you to feel the dust, the heat. I want you to feel everything that I'm feeling in my brushstrokes. And I want you to open your eyes and see yourself back here on the street of Los Angeles and still being able to be yourself. I want you to be able to go, wow, what a journey. What a journey. And what a journey indeed.